All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give out honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to the whole like men that scattered abroad, pushing this truth with thought sincerity throughout the folk under the earth. And also shalom to you very few sincere sisters that's taking heed and getting in order in these last days. I'm the brother Amawan. Coming to the quick video, Lord, was edifying. Right, and just want to go into this quick topic. The elder, Barzal had, put in the chat, and I want to just touch up on it because when I was just seeing the title of it itself, it was screaming a certain scripture to me, because one thing about it, the scriptures have us, we have to know who our enemy is and know how he conduct themselves, themselves, and like the scripture says in the book of, matter of fact, I grabbed that. 414, call your bus around shot. We're not ignorant of Satan devices. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, right? His schemes, his plot, his plans. And like I said, this right here leaded to one scripture in the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. When they shall say peace and safety, because like now, all right, cool, it's peace, right? Because with the TSA and all that, the government shutdown and stuff like that, hey, that was causing up a commotion. People not getting paid, flights being delayed and stuff like that. It was causing a lot. But we understand how Esau can get down, man. He can we're gonna squash, we're gonna somewhat in a way keep kicking the can down the street. But he's trying to get the people back comfortable, relaxed, so-called relaxed, and then he's gonna goddamn strike, So read this, go into this topic, this article right quick, just a little bit of it, But it says Senate advances plan to end historic shutdown and Bartesian breakthrough. The Senate voted to break the shutdown stalemate Sunday, paving the way for the government to reopen as soon as later this week, right? And we can see it. We see it, man. We see we talk about a Black Swan event. We can't pinpoint the exact event is going to be, but we know we're near. We know that he's positioning himself to do so, to strike, right? As you can see in the week, right? You had Mexico, this was I think last week if I'm mistaken, but Mexico doing mandatory digital ID, we just now seen what's on the map now was what Utah, right? Doing this is in right here. Right in our backyard, man. It's right here. And they about to They about to so-called reopen this, reopen the shutdown, reopen things. But hey, man, we know soon come, right? He's gonna have it to the point where he's gonna really snatch that rug from up under the people, right? They talk about Section 8 housing being lost, but it's on the chopping block, right? So, hey, like we said, hey, man, Scripture says peace and safety, then sudden destruction. Let me keep going. Kind of lost my train of thought. The 60-40 vote to take the first step toward ending the shutdown came hours after enough Democrats agreed to support a package that would fund multiple agencies and programs for the full fiscal year and all others until January 30, 2026. Right? And we already know 2026 is going to be straight hell, man. Right, we seen how Trump came in this year, January, first month, going crazy. So we know it's only going to keep increasing. Right, the book of 2 Ezra chapter 16, talk about a woman that's travailing in the ninth month about to deliver the baby. Right, so while she's in labor, right, she's going through the birth pains. Right, she's going to keep going up and up and up until she has the baby. She can keep dilating. She get to 9 centimeters, 10 centimeters, or whatever. But then after that, she's gonna have the baby. So it ain't no turning down until it actually happens. It ain't no turning back for that woman having that baby until she actually has it. That was matter of fact. I'm just going to scratch the scriptures because I was really getting to what the was the title. So like But yeah, this right here was what I had in mind. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. Right, I'm reading at the NLT and start at verse 1. It says, now concerning how and when all this will happen, dear brothers and sisters, we don't really need to write to you. Why? Because we're paying attention already, right? We already getting our houses together, right? In the book of Proverbs, Salakia, 22 in verse 3, it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. See, we already above the curve, you know. So we already get ourselves, prepared spiritually, right? We see the dark times are coming, you know. We see that this man is ready to come in like a flood. We see that, you know. It says a prudent man, right? A wise man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, right? Inside these scriptures, building ourselves up, you know, so we can be prepared. But the simple pass on and are punished. See, not watching the times, you know, thinking, oh, shit going back to normal. You know, things had never went back. Things was never normal, first off. And then they thinking things are going back to normal. Hey, things was changing since 2019. You know, it never has been the same since 2019, you know. But it says, but the simple pass on and are punished. They're going to disregard the time, thinking, oh, they finna open up the TSA. We finna got them start flying back to Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? And just forgetting about what's really going on, the reality, right? So, hey, those folks gonna be destroyed, you know. So just dissecting that with the book of First Thessalonians, you know, that's why you say we don't really need to write, because hey, we paying attention to why we looking around, we being circumspect, you know. In the book of Ephesians chapter 5 talks about that, you know, be sober, be circumspect, you know, be looking all around, be discerning the times. That's what it's gonna boil down to. We discerning the times. That's why there's no need to write, because we already on our watch. Right, verse 2, for you know quite well that the day of the Lord's return will come unexpectedly, like a thief in the night, right? And you know, Esau gonna try his best to come unexpectedly. The Lord told us in the book of Matthew 24. He gave us a heads up. You know, if you know a thief was coming, you'll be on your watch, right? Right? Didn't in the book of John, I think it's 10:10, the Lord called, you know, the enemy, the thief came to steal, kill, and destroy. You know, so hey, we already know that you gotta be on point, because this thief can strike, and you gotta be on point. You gotta be watching. You know, so with him really throwing out, saying he gonna open back up the shutdown. Hey, best believe, understand that something is gonna be behind that. You know, excuse me. For you know quite well the day of the Lord's return will come unexpectedly, like a thief in the night. Right. So you gotta be on point, right? Hey, Lord coming unexpectedly, Esau trying to come in unexpectedly. We gotta be on point, right? It says when people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin. And that's just like when she get that first little that first hit of that or the water break or the dilating, you know. She's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Well, matter of fact, if I can remember from my seed, you know, that first real kick, you know, it woke up out of her sleep, you know, and it didn't turn back down since, you know what I'm saying? It kept increasing, because that baby was ready, you know, that baby was ready to come up out of there. Right, but it says when people are saying everything is peaceful, and that's what they're going to come with. They're going to come with the little smooth saying, see, look, everything is under control. You know, everything's open back up. And then boom, he'll come with that hammer. That's why he can come like a flood. You know, when we have a flood, right, it submerges around, and and then after that, it just swoop on in real fast. You know, it said then disaster will follow them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. Right, there will be no escape, because we at the time of what the MOTB, right? We just did a lesson on Sweden. Lord would like to do a lesson on that, you know, with the Sweden thing, you know. Sweden got the chip ready, right? It said, hey, they going to waving to the chip in your hand, man. Prophecy, you know. But that was all I had on this quick lesson, you know. Just wanted to bring that out, you know. When they say peace and safety, best believe these devils is working behind that, man, you know. So Lord, when this lesson was edifying, I'm going to give out honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Krakadash. Shalom.